Hey everyone, so today we're going to go ahead and get started on this argument essay. I would say that the way to begin this draft, or even to get started on it, is to explore a topic that you're super passionate about and you want to explore. So for me, I always seem to come back to the topic of education, specifically student debt. So for this, maybe I'm gonna want to research percentage of population with debt, maybe types of jobs available, why are we able to cancel student loans, maybe even like programs available for loan forgiveness, maybe even cost of college versus the minimum wage, or even the cost of college versus, a salary job, which if you're not in the STEM field, you're looking maybe anywhere from 40 to 60K a year. So these are kind of just some things that maybe I want to explore. When you're beginning your introduction, you kind of want to make sure that you go like straight into it, be direct. Usually, argument is very much always going to tell us what they want to find out or what is it that they're going to uncover. So you kind of don't want to, with this one, create a narrative. You don't want to stray away from what's important. Think of it again as a lawyer. A lawyer will go directly into their argument. So maybe my introduction will sound something like, so my first sentence in my introduction says there are over percentage of college students graduating each year in the USA with percentage of student debt. Obviously, I haven't done my research yet, so it's a percentage yet. I still need to find out what exactly is that percentage or that number. My introduction would continue by saying it is alarming for a nation rich in resources to not be able or to not offer a free college education rather than having its people continue to thrive. So this is my sentence that, kind of should make start, that should make, I apologize, that is going to begin to, make my audience think like, wow, that is an issue. Why is it an issue? What's going to happen? So this is kind of like my hook, which is in the middle. So what I did is in this first sentence, I gave numbers, and now I'm going into a reasoning, right? And that's my second sentence. So now my third sentence will be my thesis of why I believe that college education, should be free. So college, or I should say a college education should be free because, and then these will be my three reasons here. So this is my introduction. So if we read it all together, it says there are over a percentage of college students graduating each year in the USA with percentage of student debt. It is alarming for a nation rich in resources to not offer free college education rather than having its people continue to thrive. A college education should be free because reason one, reason two, and reason three. So again, I started off by having some type of numbers, which is logic here, or logos. My second sentence is mostly pathos. This is dealing with emotion. This is telling my audience, hey, there's something wrong here. We should dive into this. And then my last sentence here is kind of going to give the credibility with these three. So this is what we're going to explore, and this is how I initially would begin my introduction. So, so that means for body paragraphs, so again, I'm just doing three reasons. You can have more than three reasons. For the purpose of this, I'm just doing three. So once I do some research, and I will actually, for this, I would go back to ACC, library.austincc.edu. The library, if you haven't gone to the library website from ACC, you should check it out. So if we go to, actually, when you're conducting research, this is the place you want to check out. If you go to the AZ list of databases, as soon as you're literally in the Austin Library website, just click there. And it's going to give you a whole database of different research databases that you can click on and find information on. I usually go to EBSCOs, and once you're there, it says enter any word to find books, journals, and more. If I put college debt, it's going to go ahead and give me some files, some research. And you can use this research for your essay as it's a little bit easier than Google. I would probably use this first, and if I can't find anything, then I would, go to Google or Google Scholar. And usually you can find the full text. You'll have to do a couple clicks in order for it to find. Some of the research is over like 20 pages, so just be cautious of what is it exactly that you're researching. When you are researching, I would be as specific as possible. So for instance, here I just put college debt. That's pretty abstract still. So just make sure that you are being as specific as possible. Okay, so if we go back to the draft, so now I have to do 3 reasons, right? These will obviously have to align with the appeals that we kind of studied this past weeks. Wow, weeks, yeah. So I'm trying to pull up the page. There we go. So in the book on page 382, it tells you how to organize an argument. So for the introduction, it says draw readers in by connecting them with your subject and establish common ground. And I did that with my first 2 sentences. And then consider asserting your central claim or proposal with a thesis statement. So this was my last sentence that I wrote, where I have the 3 topics or subjects that I will talk about within this topic. So now the body has 4 different paragraphs here in the book. Again, you can kind of switch it up. It doesn't necessarily have to be 4 body paragraphs. 3, it could be over 5, it could be 6, it could be 7. Just depends on what you're arguing. So one of the things that you do want to be certain that you do have is a body paragraph that addresses an objection or an opposite to your argument that you're making. And you want to have this because you don't want to be biased in your whole essay. So you do need to have one of those. I know that for the first one, it says use inductive and deductive reasoning, so offer supporting points and reasons in climatic order, building to your strongest case for starting with it, if necessary. Then you give an ample evidence to support the reasoning and each supporting point, drawing on whatever method of development can help develop your ideas, and then strengthen your support by making rational, ethical, and emotional appeals as appropriate. So again, let me go back to where, there we go. So then here I would kind of give a broad overview. So an overview with reasons why 1 is important, leading to 1. And again, the 1 is referring to this one. So I may say something like, let me see what I have here. So body paragraph 1, I could talk about perhaps the cost of college versus the cost of a job after graduating college, right? So I can say earning a degree. I'm just going to use myself as an example. earning a degree in English, qualifies you to, in order to teach at a college level, you have to have a master's, kind of do the math on all those years of schooling. And if one can't afford it, then, what are you paying as far as student debt with interest? And then I could lead ultimately to, if an adjunct professor is making X amount of money, then, maybe going to college to get a master's isn't worth it if the person cannot find a job, kind of that deal. Body paragraph two, this is where numbers come into play, stats, the logos to create an emotional appeal to your audience. So again, this could be anything that has to do with numbers and stats, where you eventually tell your audience like this is wrong, or this is why we should have a loan forgiveness, or this is why we should have free public school, college education, etc. And then body paragraph three, this should be your objection. So you can start it by saying, on the other hand, comma, and then, whatever the objection will be. For your conclusion, specifically for an argument essay, it's really easy. After you state everything that you are arguing, your conclusion should literally say, therefore. Don't know what happened there, sorry. Therefore, a college education should be free. You can literally end like that if you have the stats and all the data backed up. You don't need to say anything more than that. Something very straight to the point, specifically by using the word, oh no, I deleted it. Therefore, I deleted it again. Oh, I'm choosing the eraser. I think I spelled that wrong. Sorry. By specifically using the word therefore, you kind of just, you're the lawyer, you just prove your point, and that's why my client is guilty. The next thing I do want to talk about briefly is things to avoid. So I kind of talked about this, and y'all talked about this already in your journal. So passion, as we all know, can get in the way of an argument, and we all love passion when arguing and talking, especially when you're talking about something that really moves you. However, be cautious. And the reason why I'm saying for you to be cautious is because you do not want to let your passion override your argument. If you're not cautious, if you use too much passion, then you can come out as, being very biased or one-sided. And the reason why we're putting an objection paragraph is so that you're not completely one-sided. Um, Another way that passion usually drives across in argument essays by using the word I. So stay away from all those I's. I believe, I know, or I know someone. You don't want to say anything like that. I feel, anything with I, leave the personal out. I'm just going to say that. If you leave the personal out, there shouldn't be an I, a me, you know, just none of those. And that's about it for as far for the argument essay. Please email me if you do have any questions or if this was a little bit too fast or didn't make sense, and I'll gladly go over it with you on a one-on-one.